Good morning, YouTube friends. It's Joyce from Moore's Patch of Heaven Homestead. It's kind of nice to just sit here on the porch. It's been a busy weekend. We went to the Ozark Homesteaders Expo in Neosho, Missouri. It was a lot of fun, and there were lots of people. There were great demonstrators. There were lots of great, lots of great people came out. We got to see Kevin and Sarah from Living Traditions, which was awesome. We got to see the sun oven guy, and we also got to see the elderberry man. And it was wonderful to talk to them. It was wonderful to watch people demonstrating cheese making, different things that we've done before, like making soap as well. But it was nice to watch others do it and to see their little touch on things. We got to meet Cindy and Gary from Pathway Homestead. They came all the way out from Kansas. It was wonderful to visit with them and get to know them. It's so exciting to meet different homesteaders and see what we have in common. This is a great community of people, and we just love it. We love learning more and more about different things, different ways of homesteading. They did, there were the guys with the solar panels. We sold kombucha, colloidal silver, and different tinctures. It was wonderful to share with people the benefits of those. We sold out of our kombucha way too early. We do that at Baker Creek every year as well. Can never make enough. Our kombucha is high in demand. We sold lots and lots of colloidal silver, and it's just wonderful to be able to share with people how these different things work and what they're good for. So anyway, it's nice to just sit for a little bit and just take a deep breath and relax. But anyway, I wanted to show you a little bit around our yard and some different things because we've had some questions about why we have this mess on this side of our yard. So I'm going to show that to you and explain that. Okay, if you can see that mess over there, you can barely see the top of the trailer. That mess over there is what we call our jungle now. But if you can see closely, you'll see the tip of a tree. Well, when we first bought this house over 20 years ago, yes, it's been 20 years, 3 of our boys were born in this home. When we first moved here, our son Hunter, who is 18 now, was going to be born just a few weeks after we bought our home. But anyway, that tree that you see over there is what we called Big Oak. It was the most gorgeous oak tree ever. And it stood so high, and it was beautiful. We had a porch swing that hung from it. Excuse me. And I always kind of wondered as the years went on, it was getting older and older, and I always wondered if it would tip and if it would hit our home, because if it did, I'm going to turn this around here and show you, if it tipped and hit our home, it would go straight through the bedrooms of our boys up there and come through to their playroom, which is right down here. And I always worried about that. It's like, Lord, please, if that ever does fall, let it go in a different direction. Well, sure enough, one day we heard the most horrific crack, and sure enough, Big Oak dropped, and he dropped all the way down. So what you're seeing, that is our jungle here, is where he fell. And there's, I mean, the bottom part of the trunk is so big. I don't want to go in there because there's chiggers and all kinds of bugs, or I would show you it. Maybe one day when all of that is whacked down, I can show you how big the base of it is. But it fell all the way down, and we had friends, wonderful friends, that came and chopped up for us most of, you know, what we could chop up. We took the leaves out, we dumped everything, but we have big pieces of wood in this area here. So yeah, all of that has big pieces of wood that we have to chop up and use for firewood. But so it kind of sat for a while. It hasn't been that long, but the weeds just take over so quickly, and before you know it, we now have a jungle. In the jungle, the mighty jungle. We don't know what's sleeping in there. But I want to explain that because I know some have said, well, what's beyond there? There actually is a beautiful fence and the field next door, but For now, it is what we call our jungle because Big Oak is resting there. And I had always hoped that if that happened, that somehow we could have a piece of his wood saved for a tree, but it's very expensive. And to have that bark and that part removed is so expensive. That's one of the reasons it's still standing. Something we may have to tackle ourselves, but it's a very big job. Nothing that we have been able to do at this point, but maybe one day. But so I just wanted to explain what that jungle is. And I wanted to show you that big hay bale over there. It's amazing the way the Lord provides. McCaden is our 16-year-old, and I think you've seen his cows and some of his sheep. Well, already twice, the Lord has provided in such neat ways. That hay bale over there was in the ditch. And last year, the same thing happened, just about, winter time when he was thinking he needs to get a hay bale out here for his sheep. The Lord provided, and a hay bale was dumped in our ditch, and same thing happened again. And so Jean and McCaden pushed it, which it weighs so much. Those things can weigh up to 1,500 pounds. But they pushed it into our yard, and now he has hay for his sheep this winter. It's like so awesome. And another thing that is so funny, I have to laugh about, over there, the ditch, you can't see it from here, but our ditch is over there by the street. The other day, we were talking about how we need to go ahead and start getting our firewood because it gets cold here in the Midwest, and we heat our house strictly with just wood. We stopped propane years ago because it's so expensive, and our wood stove does such an amazing job heating the whole house that we just cut out all propane and went to firewood. So that means every year the boys and Jean have to chop wood. Well, someone, lo and behold, dropped 2 huge trees in our ditch. And I know, is that just the funniest thing? So now we have wood in our ditch that the boys and Jean are going to chop up. It probably won't be enough for all winter, but you know what? He provided, and it's a blessing, and we're going to take it. But anyway, little things like that I just love to share with y'all, just because he does provide, he hears, he knows, and we just love it when we see it come to fruition, which is like on a daily basis. But I just wanted to share that with you because I just thought, it's so wonderful. We can talk about, all the bad things, but let's talk about some of the good things, even the little things. There's my little haven right there, my little bench that I love to just sit and reflect and pray and have my quiet time. There's our girls. And yes, that's a trash man that you hear. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Take time to reflect on the little things. Not always looking for the big things, the little things. And, those really are big things, providing hay and wood. I mean, it really is big for our family. I wanted to show you the leaves here. It has started to look like fall in our yard. We have this one tree here, very, very old tree. We think it needs to be chopped down, but someone gave us a quote of like $1,000, way too much to chop a tree down. So we're going to let it sit as long as it will and pray that it falls in a direction and does not hurt anybody. See the base of that? Yeah, Big Oak was probably bigger than that. But yeah, it's starting to fall. The leaves are starting to fall here. It's starting to look like fall. But basically this tree is dropping more leaves because it is dying itself, somewhat alive and somewhat dead. But it is starting to look like fall here in the Midwest. And I wonder what your weather is like. We love the fact that we have the 4 seasons. It's just so fun. It's fun to see things changing. For August, or I should say for September, gosh, it's already September, our grass is still so green. Usually by this time, it is brown and dead. So we're going to take it. We are loving the fact that we still have some flowers in our little planters. Usually by now, everything is dead. It's been a blessing that the Lord has, given us cooler weather this year, because I think we really needed it. It was real hot last year. I'll show you how our mum is already in bloom. We planted that from a little bitty plant last year, and I can't believe that it's blooming in the heat. And what's happening is some of the flowers are losing their color because it's so hot. That's supposed to be a burgundy flower, and some of them, as you can tell, are light because the sun has bleached them. And then there's our hydrangea, or not hydrangea, hibiscus. The hibiscus flowers are still going. The hydrangeas have died. but the hibiscus are still going strong, and our crepe myrtle here has still not bloomed. We're waiting for it to bloom. It's a late bloomer. But yeah, it's so funny. It really has not been that hot. I mean, we've had some hot days, but for the most part, it has been nice and cool and rainy this year here in the Midwest. I'm going to take you over here to show you these logs that they dumped in our ditch. That was a blessing for firewood. It looks like it might be cedar. It's really pretty wood. We don't know how on earth it ended up just in the ditch. Somehow maybe sliding off of someone's truck or something. There's one. See that huge log? It's pretty big. Here's another one. Not sure where it came from, but we'll take it. Free wood. Looks like some pretty sturdy stuff. My boys were saying it sure would make a nice table or something, but we now have free firewood. Okay guys, I'm going to end for now. I hope you all are enjoying the end of summer. It's still real hot here in the Midwest. The last few days has been over 100 degrees. Oh, with the heat index, it's been really bad. The grass may still be green, but everything is getting really tired in the garden. The new things are struggling because it's so hot. We have to water everything. But we know fall's coming. We know that it's going to be over with soon, so we're going to enjoy it because the days are getting shorter. The kiddos are not happy that they can't play outside as long. But I hope that all of you are enjoying these last few weeks or days, I'm not sure, of the warmth before the cold starts. I hope you all are getting ready and prepared for winter, if you're going to have winter in your part of the country. But I hope you like what you see. If so, subscribe, tell a friend, share our video. We're still new, we're growing, and we're so thankful that you are growing with us. And until next time, God bless you.